All right. I love technology. Took me a couple trial and errors to finally figure this out, but we're here. I'm gonna set up. All right, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
To Beyond Clarity with a very special guest, Tre. I'm actually gonna be driving about an hour. I got an hour and 15-minute drive on my way to Waukesha. One of my red-blooded music collective brothers is going to be teaching me how to be a wedding DJ. And this is something I've been putting off for far too long because I get nervous and I get stage fright, and I used to have to like drink actually, like when I was DJing
Mhm.
for music events, God, 12, 13 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. I would pregame and I would get liquid courage because what I learned when I started drinking when I was 16 is that it would make me more sociable and give me courage, like liquid courage, whatever they call it. And I did that. One of my best friends at the time, still a great friend of mine, who taught me the basics how to DJ, would drink, and we would drink and throw down. And it's like I built up this crutch. Well, fast forward to over 10 years later, I still got this fire burning inside. I'm like, why am I not doing this? And ever since I
Yep.
joined IMC Nation like 3 years ago, and now I'm like put in this position where I got my own TV show on the IMC channel, and I'm inspired, you know, working with Captain Chris. Like I wouldn't say work, I would call it serving with him for the last couple of years as a staff member for his podcast, Enlightened Masculinity, and sometimes IMC Nation. I'm just like, if Chris is doing all this for AZD, what can I do for Chris? And Chris is looking at me like, well, when are you going to start doing this? Because I've been always holding myself back behind the scenes, and here we are. And although I shouldn't be driving when I'm doing this, I'm not going to be looking at my phone. And Tre, like when you were a guest on one of my first Beyond Clarities a while ago, and I was just I think it was the first time we ever met, and I was just amazed by how like articulate you were and how I guess imaginative you are, just like the way that your mind works. It was very all I know is like I want to get to know this guy. I want to know his story. I want to know like what made him come across, AZD, what made him join IMC Nation. And I believe you're like a sound engineer. I'll let you introduce yourself. But I have so much respect for music producers because I only sat down twice with two of my music producer friends for a couple hours each. And I was so blown away, like, wow, you have to have the discipline, the words can't describe it. You just have to sit down and do it. And like I said, as a DJ, like all I know, I don't want to downplay it, but all I know is how to beat match, and music production is a whole new breed. So welcome to Beyond Imagination with Tre. Feel free to introduce yourself, brother. Thank you for showing
Oh,
up.
all right. Thank you for having me. That is it's a pleasure to be here. Um, yeah. So yes, I do. I'm still actually learning. I have recorded some people, back home. But first, let me give you a background of me. I started with IMC and so forth. Now, I started IMC in. Well, I first got introduced to AZD in the ending of 2012, I think. That's when I first got introduced to him. But I was looking on YouTube for, some texting, how to text, better, with females. And I came upon his video. And what drew me to him was, he had this animal, this magnetism about him, the way he spoke, presented himself was just different. it wasn't like I can see this guy wasn't tough, you know, and with the tattoos and you know the ear piercing. I did my ears, you know, as he had it back then, you know, he had it just like this. And I'm saying, wow, this is refreshing because you know with other people online, you know, they see they're doing business, they're teaching you business, they just seem very plastic, very fake, as if they have only the intellect. You know, but there's more to it. I can sense that this guy was living it, living what he was saying. So that drew me to him. I chose him as my teacher, and fast forward to 2023, you know, we're still here. So I actually bought my first product from him in let's see, 2014. So I was watching his YouTube videos for like a year, all of 2013, and I bought my first product in 2014. I bought the manga and something else, and then I reached out to Aikido. For those of you who don't know, that was one of the coaches at Seductive Instinct back in the day, Aikido, and he had locks just like me too. And you know, I emailed him. He added me to the Facebook group, and you know, that's where I met. That's where I met ACD. I did on Facebook. I did some other guys, and I was in from there with Malachi. I was more closer to Malachi than Aikido. Malachi and I had a more relationship, and I learned a lot. You know, attending ACD's lectures, attending when I can because you know his programs definitely took money. So I wasn't really working at the time. I was more so in school. So I wasn't working at the time, so I couldn't afford to be spending a lot of money back in the day. So when I finally did get some money, this was like in 2016. He was releasing a product every month. I can remember clearly. So every month for the year of 2016, and I bought every single one every month. I was at work doing overtime. They said they even banned me from overtime at work. That's how much overtime I was doing. I was working every day, 7 days a week, for like 6 months straight at the job I was at, just to make money. And you know, I bought all these products, watched everything. Some I rewatched some, and then I stopped working. I think this was November, and I stopped working by December. So I didn't get the last product, but you know, for the most part, definitely expensive. And what he's teaching now is nothing like what he was teaching then. Back then, it's like baby stuff compared to what he's teaching now, for sure. And I've seen the evolution of him over the years, and I'm saying, okay, there's levels to this, and he's showing all the levels beyond levels you never know you existed. So that's the history with you know AZD and you know me. I mean joining IMC 2020 when the camp started. So I attended the second one, I think, Alpha, and man, that was something else. That's when he introduced the workout routine. I didn't attend live. I purchased to attend live. I didn't attend live because I was actually working, so I couldn't get to attend it live. But I watched it afterwards, and you know, I got on the process, and the process has changed my life. I've been doing this since November of 2020, and it has changed my life for sure. For sure, I'm more disciplined. I'm more sharp. I'm more tough. I'm more resilient to life. You know, so that's a bit of history there with me. You know, IMT. You know, and me. Did you have any specific questions, brother?
You said it saved your life or it changed your life?
Changed.
It changed your life. Okay, yeah. Yeah, same here. Wow, I didn't realize you joined or you were following him so far back. I think 2011 maybe is when I first got introduced to him.
Right.
And was following him, and I don't think I was following him on Facebook, but I was following him on YouTube. A friend of mine I met in the community actually interviewed him because I guess he was like one of the he was like a worldwide known seduction artist, but also in the martial arts. And my friend came across him and interviewed him, and unfortunately my friend didn't join IMC Nation. I tried getting him to join a couple times, and he just kind of fell along the wayside. I hope he's doing good, but I was following AZD off and on for And finally, like 2019, I hit a crossroads in my life, and he was doing his Sunday service for free on Instagram. And I was watching his YouTube, and he was just saying some things that hit home. And I'm like, why am I not doing this? You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
finally. But I heard about his Facebook group, and man, so you're in a I got like reacquainted with you again in one of Telegram groups that Sir Kenny Simmons shared with me. Thank you for that, Kenny. Daily Disciples, I believe, because I'm working on my communication, my speech. You know, I have to do this live. I don't have to. I get to do this live once a week, and this is like 10 years in the making for me speaking. And I noticed Jordan Amari, aka Master Myself, does a video, at least one video every day. And Kenny
Yep.
said that we have to check in every day and do a video. And I actually forgot the first couple days that I joined, and sure enough, I'm like, I'm just gonna do one every morning so I don't forget, because so many Telegram groups, like ever since I joined IMC Nation 3 years ago, we just started with one Telegram group that I knew of, and now we have so many, and it used to get overwhelming, but now I say I'm abundance and endless IMC Nation Telegram groups, and they keep getting better, and we keep getting better. And you shared, I made myself watch everyone's video in there, because I catch myself sometimes just aimlessly scrolling on social media, watching like this random stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, I got to hear what my IMC Nation brothers. If I want at least Jordan Amari and someone to like listen to my video, I make all my videos now under 60 seconds. So I'm getting used to getting straight to the point. I got to hear what my IMC Nation members say. I do more videos and action. For too long in my life, I was always dwelling on the negative and just thinking like being a warrior and thinking about the bad stuff, and it's still happening. But I hit a point where it's like enough is enough. What if I think about what I want to happen, and not just like hope that happens, but feel and believe that it already happened, like I already have it. So could you please share with me like what got you started into that, and like how you use your imagination, and remember, this is live on YouTube for the entire world to see. So if there's anything that you don't, that's private for IMC Nation members only, just leave that out, and they can hear that in a private lecture.
Yeah, for sure, brother. All right, thank you for the question. Now, I've always been, all about the mind. I always had a lot of questions as a kid growing up. I always had questions like, what is this? How does this work? I'm a very truthful person. So I always try to find the truth of things, the origins of things, what caused this, where does color come from? That's always been me, like a scientist, a researcher. So, I got into, I was starting to get into religion, I was getting more spiritual. And back in, since joining IMC, like it's 2014, so 2013, 2014 is when I started to shake the chains of, or I get to understand religion more and see for what it is. I mean, nothing wrong with religion, nothing wrong with spirituality. Well, nothing wrong with religion, but there's definitely things you have to be aware of, because it can trap you, right? And it can send you in the wrong direction. So I started to ask questions. I started to ask people questions. Then I read this book. I was in a network marketing company. I won't say the name of what it was, but I was a part of it, looking for ways to make money. I was like 2021, looking for ways to make money as a part of a network marketing group. And I was reading books. You had to read books and present on it every week. And I think one of the books that was introduced to me was Outwitting the Devil. Now, that book, I got to see exactly like how the mind works, what it actually is in terms of the analogy and of the devil and the mind is the devil, with habits and so forth. That book is actually due for a reread, It has been so long. It's 10 years now, over 10 years. So it's due for a reread. But that's the book that actually set me on a trajectory to say, okay, the Bible is actually it's not what they're saying in there is not real. They're metaphors. So that book kind of explained things to me and showed me some things that, hey, it's all about habits. It's all about your habits. If you say you can't do something, then you have a habit of thinking you can't do something, so you won't do that thing. And you attract like thoughts. It's a rhythm. You're always in a rhythm. That's what the book taught me. You're always in a rhythm. So you have to be aware of your thoughts, because those thoughts will tune you to the rhythm that you're thinking at. All right. So that's where I started it. And I just, from that point on, I just dropped religion. I started to watch debates on religion and the whole deal. So, I started to get answers now from AZD. He started to answer my questions, and they made so much sense, bro. My bad. Right. So, it made so much sense to me. He was answering questions after questions after questions, and it just made sense. It's like once you see the truth, you can't go back. You can't go back. But you have to be willing, and you have to be open to it. And I just evolved as a person. My imagination is naturally just wild out of this place. I'm a very creative person, easily. So I'm always in my imagination. What's going on today? All right, so I'm good now. Yeah, so I've always, it's good. Okay. Yeah, so
you're good, brother. One thing that I remind myself is to have water nearby,
right.
because if you're not like used to speaking, it's all good, brother. You got a cough or do whatever, that's fine. Get used to it. So so you're saying?
Right. So it's all in the state of mind. He's been saying this for years. It's all in the state of mind, and it really is, and it's much deeper than you think. It's a simple statement, but it's really much deeper, bro. For example, I was thinking the other day, and I'm saying, let's say you want to forgive someone, right? Let's try this exercise. Let's say you want to forgive someone. It may be hard because of your ego. It may be hard for you to say, okay, I forgive John, or I forgive Tony. But if you say, I forgive myself, if you think about the situation and you say, I forgive myself, you actually are going to forgive the person. But your mind, you just couldn't wrap your mind, your ego won't allow you to say the name of the other person, or to think that you're forgiving the other person. But if you say, I forgive myself, it goes to show you we're the only ones here. Our mind is our projection outside. Because if saying, I forgive myself, and saying, I forgive John, if I feel the same way after saying both, then what is it really? Am I really forgiving John? Or am I just forgiving, what I was projecting? Right? So, after doing the practical exercises, you see that, hey, this is it. It's all in the mind. It's all a mindset. Never ever believe what you see. As I said, I think you said in our video the other day that reality is lagging. It's lagging. So you may see something right now, but you actually thought this thing in the past. Why it is here right now? Your result, this is how the saying go, you're a result of all the thoughts you thought in the past. Or you are where you have thought you're going to be in the past. Right? So it's just lagging. So I don't take it seriously when something in my reality is not as I want it. I just start thinking differently, because I know by keeping my thoughts on what I want, it's going to come around. It has to come around. Your mind has to match. That's the whole purpose of the nervous system. It matches what's with the outside with what's in your mind. It has to match. They have to match. They have to go together. Right? So I just work with that every day. That I am what I am seeing out there. I work with that idea, and I'm able to, overcome the biggest obstacles. I'm able to forgive more. And there's levels to forgiveness. There's levels, there's levels to it. Some things may not be easily forgiven, it may not be easily forgiven, but it can be done with the right work, deprogramming yourself, seeing things, changing your perspective. It can be done. And forgiveness is everything. I did a video the other day on my channel. Like forgiveness and gratitude, they're basically the same thing. They foster, they cultivate the same feeling within you, because it's just a case where when you forgive, you're not going to be meeting consequences to anyone. So let's say someone hits me. If I forgive it, then I won't hit him back. But if I feel gratitude, I still will have the option to hit him back, but I'll be doing it from a place of strength, because people think gratitude is, spiritual, and it means, turn the other cheek or give consent to what's happening to you in life. That's not what it means. What it actually is just a way to get you out of the negative rut that you're in emotionally, so you can stand on a firm ground, so you can take action. That's what gratitude does. Right. So it's very important to understand this, which is why I did a video on. It's very important, and it's a very powerful thing. In all things, just give thanks. If I go throughout my day saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and I can feel myself getting out of whatever rut, any major rut, any mini rut, I feel myself releasing from it, and I feel more light and more free by just saying thank you. And it's free. It's free to say thank you. So yeah, that's the mind for you.
Wow, brother, that is amazing. Man, I really felt that one. That reminded me, I think it was Epictetus who said, it's not what happened, it's how you reacted that matters. Or I can't think of it verbatim, but Lieutenant Guerrero actually mentioned that in his prolific expression this last Monday, on IMC TV. Just the mindset, it's everything. And I'll never forget, because I was in such a low state of mind that when I first heard of AZD and saw him, it was so far out there, beyond my comprehension, because I kind of grew up with a lot of negativity, psychological things, just never thinking I was good enough. And when I came across his website, before I started really investing in myself, I saw because other coaches, I would, and people commenting on his YouTube channel were hating on him. So I checked him out for myself, and I knew what he was doing was real, because he had a picture of himself with 12 model girlfriends. And I was like, okay, people are saying that they're paid and everything, but I knew deep down it was real. The thing that scared me is I had it in me, and I knew what I was going to have to change and let go. Well, I didn't realize that it was a mindset and also forgiveness. And I forget, not just forgiving others for wronging me, but forgiving myself for putting myself in that situation. And most importantly, what you said, gratitude, which I've been going over every morning now. It's part of my morning routine. And just like you said, throughout the day. So when I get a downfall, a negative setback, I had a real negative setback a few weeks ago that I'm still getting over, but I am going over gratitude and being grateful for that situation and learning from it, and knowing that it's empowering me and making me stronger. So when I go to the next level, I'm ready for whatever that gives me. And man, and when you realize that, you had it in you this whole time, you're like, oh man, but I'm glad I know it now. And I catch myself falling off track, and I'm like, remember. And I've been going through that every time before I live stream. I didn't want to live stream. I overate. I thought I was tired. I tried taking a nap, meditating. I couldn't sleep. I was restless. So I went out and tapped into a tree, went over some gratitude, took a cold shower, reset, drank some water, and here we are. And you know what? I'm getting energized from this conversation. I'm getting chills right now. And I know for a fact, if you want to, you're going to have your own show, your own channel. You're going to be leading your own men. I understand you're part of other IMC Nation groups. Is one of them the Black Panthers?
Right.
Do you share things in that? You want to go over a little bit of that or other IMC Nation groups that you're in? Because what was it, just a couple months ago? Like when did you join IMC Nation? What remind me.
So when I joined, when I first joined,
Yeah, yeah.
so the end of 2012. Well, I started
Holy
watching.
cow.
Yeah, so I started
No,
watching.
when did you join IMC? You've been in IMC Nation since
No, no, no,
2012?
no, no, no.
You
That's right. So I
you're
started.
introduced 2012.
Yeah, yes,
When did you
yes.
join, brother?
Yeah, so I would say 2015, 2014, 15, because that's when
14, 15.
I knew the guys and I was in communication with them. I spoke to AZD. Um, and yeah, I was even there when
Wow.
Yogi Chris came. I was there the day he came to do his boot camp. So I was there before Yogi
You were
Chris.
there in person or
No, no,
online?
no, no, online,
Online.
online.
Okay, okay. Because you're
Yes.
in Jamaica, right?
Yeah, in Jamaica, right, right.
All right. You're gonna start a tribe out there? IMC
I,
base in Jamaica? Or where do you want to start an IMC base? What do you want to do, brother? Well,
I mean,
first, when did you start speaking? Like when did you start expressing yourself like you are now? Because maybe I wasn't paying attention, but it only seems like it's like when did you start expressing yourself out within IMC Nation like you are now, brother?
all right. So I would say since joining, the Black Panthers group, that was in 2021. I started speaking
Okay.
in video speaking and so forth. And when we have the Monday meetings, we have meetings every Monday. That's when I speak up. So, in each meeting, we have a chance to say our piece, what we got from, what is being said, the topic that is spoken about. As ideas go off in my mind, I speak about it and share my insight on it. And what I learned from the beast camps that I've been to, they actually help, give me perspective. So I'm able to share, a very deep insight. And it's going to be deep for people who are not in IMC, for sure. So that's when I started to actually, speak, get my voice, out there some more. But before that, as I said, I was in, huh?
Did AZD like call on you or like, well, what was that in Love? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Was that during Love Spell
So I wasn't,
2020?
so I've never actually, I think I joined Love Spell for 1 month. I think when it just started, I think it started in a June, and I joined for that first month. But because I wasn't really, I was working, but my money is used for the things. So that I need to use it for, right? As I can't be here, so I couldn't stay connected with you guys through Love Spell. But I've been to a couple of um, man, the name changed so many times. I was gonna say Dragons there just now, but Midday Gospels. Well, it was Dragons there at the time. So yeah, I've been a part of a couple Dragons there's and a couple of beast camps for sure. So not really much, but I use what I learned from it, and I'm able to speak like this, break things down for myself.
Okay.
Because when I get the
So what?
information,
So when you get information, sorry, I'll stop cutting you off.
yeah. So when I get the information from the beast camps, I apply them immediately. Immediately. Any new thought, I apply it immediately. Right? I don't leave the time because sometimes if you say, okay, I'll apply this later, you don't remember. Because sometimes he gives so much tech that you can't, well, you can keep up, but maybe you're choosing not to keep up. But it's hard to lose a track of him. Because I'm remembering some tech from way back, when, and I'm using it right now. So I apply at the same time. When I apply it, I get my own experience of it, and that will stay with me. So when I walk with that, I'm able to apply it to different areas of my life, and I can see where the mistakes were, the mistakes of others, and become more wise.
Man, that's amazing. Apply what you learn.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a few years to finally start doing that, and it's like, man. So you were in a sound engineering.
Right.
Um, and now you're teaching English over there.
Yeah. So
What
yes.
helped you? What helped you with that, brother? Like, what made you decide to do that? Go ahead.
All
I'll
right.
let you.
No problem. All right. Thank you. So I mean, I've always been into music. I got my first piano keyboard when I was 11. 11, I started learning, and I know I love this because when YouTube came in, I got it before YouTube came in. When YouTube finally came in, and there were people posting, piano videos. I always tried to learn the songs on, that they were teaching, and when I couldn't learn it, like maybe it was a bit difficult for me, I started to cry. So that's when I knew that, this is what I'm meant to do. It's music. It's nothing else. This is where my passion lies. Can you hear me? You're frozen a bit there.
You're frozen now. I'm gonna YouTube right now. Oh, okay. Now you're back. Your
Good?
Wi-Fi, like I don't know, are there other devices on your Wi-Fi, or is there anything you can do to make your Wi-Fi connection better?
Yeah, sure. Give me a sec.
Okay,
All right. Is it good now?
you're yeah, much better.
All right, perfect. What was the last thing you
All
heard?
right, great. Okay, sound engineering, playing the keyboard.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah, yeah. So when I started to cry, I knew that, hey, this was it. Because why am I crying over this? It's just passion. And I've always wanted to learn instruments. So it's just been a part of me all my life. I went to school to do IT. I have an IT degree, but I'm not pursuing IT right now. I have a knack for it, but it's not something I'm passionate about. And I started sound engineering in, actually, I went to piano classes. Let me speak about piano classes. So I started piano classes maybe in 2013, and I got qualified to up to, I took a English exam, ABRSM, and I'm theoretically qualified up to the grade 5 level. But I asked my teacher, hey, because my thing was I wanted to improvise, I wanted to express myself on the keys, but he told I had 3 more grades left. Grade 8 was the last grade. I'm at grade 5. So he says to me, I asked him, hey, am I going to do improvisation? Am I going to learn improvisation? He said, no, that's not a part of it. And that was my last class, because I was getting classically trained. So that's when I learned that I was actually supposed to be learning jazz music, because all the songs are actually at the jazz standard. Most songs are jazz standard. So, I started to shop around, and I finally started learning jazz music. And I started also engineering in 2017. Yeah, 2017, right? That's when my engineering path started. And I've been learning it from then. I have a drum machine here, right? I have my keyboard over here, piano, and I have my guitar, which I'm learning right now. I have this for 10 years. I'm just giving it a real try. So that's me for music. I'm still learning. My MacBook is down right now. The screen is out. I got to replace it. But once it's back up, I'm gonna be back practicing, because I have some beats I have here. I've plugged it up to play it though. But I'm still learning, still practicing. I've recorded some legends in my country before, because the person who is teaching me, or who taught me, he actually the song. There's a song in the there's a Jamaican bobsled movie. I'm not sure if you know it. It's called Cool Runnings, a Jamaican bobsled movie. Right.
I know
So
that song quite well.
you know it. Okay. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. That song. So that song was a uh Jimmy Cliff. He sung over that song, because it was originally sung by someone in the 80s. I don't remember his name, but Jimmy Cliff sung over that song, and it was a soundtrack for the movie. But the person who produced that song, with Jimmy Cliff, is actually the person who is teaching me. Did you hear me?
Wow. Oh, dude. And you know what? I was thinking that I want to hire hire you to teach me how to operate, how to do that drum machine. I
Mhm.
thought that before you said that, but now it's like, now I know why. Oh my God, dude.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Go on.
Yeah. So the person who did that song, he's teaching me right now. When I go into his studio, you see plaques upon plaques. A lot of famous Jamaican artists. He has a song and another song, but I think Akon. I think he did a song with Akon on his Mama Africa album in 2009. So he has an Akon plaque. Um, he has more plaques. He's done his job, and most of the songs that I grew up on in the 90s, and my peers grew up on those popular songs that played parties. He's the one who made the instrumental, the beat for it, and he recorded these persons. So his studio, which I mean, has a lot of history. And sometimes I'd be over there and he says, "Hey, I use this mic to record this person or that person." I'm like, "What?" So it's pretty amazing to be a part of that. And I've met some people, some legends in the business, and I've recorded them. Like um me and them in the studio together. I've recorded them, just me and them, and I edited what I recorded and so forth. So when I got the opportunity to do that, it opened me up to what's possible and how relationships are also very important. Because he's very kind to me because we have a good rapport, we have a good relationship. So if he has anything he wants to share, he's going to share with me. And because I respect him as a teacher and I listen. So yeah, relationships are definitely very important. But that's my musical journey so far. My goal is to actually I wanna do some work with some known people. I wanted to hear my voice, hear what I have inside. So I'm gonna do the work to get it out, and wherever it goes from there.
Wow, brother. It just keeps getting better. You don't mind me asking, you don't have to say it, but how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 31. 31 next Wednesday.
31. Okay. You have a young spirit. It's like an old soul, but you're very youthful. I'm just learning. Like I'm 39, but I'm finally like pursuing my dreams and passion. And like one thing in IMC Nation, it's like age doesn't matter. Like we had two younger guys on Open Midday Gospel. I think one was like 20, the other one was 22, and they were just sharing some things that hit home. And it's like, wow, like everything that you, man, it's this is why I do this, because I want to interview and get to know everyone in IMC Nation, because everyone has a unique story just like you. And it's like the more that I'm getting to know you, the more interesting that you become. And all I can say, brother, is just keep showing up, and I look forward to what you have. Like what is your goal now in the next year, the next 5 years, with yourself, with IMC Nation, and whatever it is that you want to
Yeah,
do,
so
brother?
yeah, for sure, definitely. So my goal is actually I plan to actually come overseas and stay in San Jose within the next couple of months. So I'm working on that right now, and master the beats process, master whatever AZD is teaching. Yep, that is it. Yep, master whatever AZD is teaching because he's teaching the right thing. It's the right way. And as I said before, I want to be more musically known. I want to put some more work out, and for people to know what I'm doing, to know what I'm all about. Get whatever is inside me out. And even I said earlier I started playing the piano at 11, but I actually wrote my first song at 6. So it was for a girl. It's an unfinished song, but it was for a girl who lived in front of me. And I still remember the song to this day. So I want to finish that too, and maybe give it to someone to sing. But that's when I wrote my first song, and yeah, it's I think it's a really good song, if I may say so myself, even to this day. But yeah, I'll let you guys hear when I do finish it and so forth. But yeah, that's my earliest experience with music as far as I can remember. Um, but yeah.
Well, brother, well, perhaps we could do a collaboration sometime. Maybe like an electronic reggae song or something, or we'll see. But I've learned that there's a lot of artists, producers, very musically talented warrior fighting monks within IMC Nation, and we have a record label now, and AZD has one of the top artists. Like I haven't heard some of them because I don't listen to that type of music, but seeing what they stand for and their following, and just like you said, like and AZD says, it's all a state of mind. And I've had this passion within me for like I'd say about 20 years. And when I went out to San Jose for the first time, did a beast camp, and then attended a couple of VIP events, I felt overwhelmed, but I knew I had to do something. I'm like, well, and it's not exactly knowing what to do, it's believing that you can do it and having the mindset. And it's like you don't want to go in, like of course you want to do the right thing. Like for example, when I went into this club I wanted to do my first show at, and I brought two brothers outside of IMC Nation that I believed in and trusted together, and they brought their tribes in. And seeing one of them get screwed over by a former business partner, not once but twice, I learned that, get everything in writing, get a signed contract. And just seeing AZD run a club, pretty much tell the owner what to do, the dancers, the models, the photographer, the investors. And I'm like, oh my God. Like when I went to the Beast Camp for the first time, I got to, and I had money because I just got back from my first deployment, and I invested my money wisely. I just missed my turn, but that's okay. I have gratitude.
There you go.
I learned that I needed to get my mind right because I wasn't beasting, I wasn't meditating, I wasn't going over stoicism, I wasn't in a group where I was being held accountable. And if I did, I was being corrected respectfully. Jagged of Captain Chris. So fast forward like a year later, I see the Cervantes brothers promote their first VIP events, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Have a quick couple-minute conversation with Oracle, Raul Cervantes, and I'm like, I just believe because he is one of the first OGs that I was following and I felt connected to. And when I went to the VIP event, I felt in over my head. But when I came back home, I knew I had to do something. I had to apply what I learned. I had to be part of the 300 that AZD wants us to do. That's one reason why you and I are having this conversation. And all I know is you stay on the process and you keep that mindset. You're going to be out here, brother, before we know it. And I want to know when you come out because I'm going to be there too. And we're going to make something happen because after being in putting myself in situations where I ended up losing a lot of money, and instead of blaming the person who did it, I blamed myself because I put myself in that situation,
Mhm.
So I learned a lot about forgiveness, understanding, and not putting myself in that situation again. And when I don't want to go into too much detail, but I owed one of our IMC Nation brothers some money. I told him, like, it's going to be a while before I'll be able to pay you back. Will you accept payments? Yes. And he told me one thing: your IMC Nation. We are in the IMC Nation contract, so we hold each other accountable. If someone is slipping off or messing up, we let them know about it. I call them accountability checks, and that's what we need. And I'm looking for someone to get. I saw like an air tire pressure thing here. Where was I going with that? So I can see you coming out here, getting the process down, having enough money to invest staying on base for,
Mhm.
I know they have a week, but working, serving with us, and then having a conversation and meeting a future business partner within IMC Nation. Because one thing that I want to do is have um, inspiring musical artists within IMC Nation be taken care of, where they can just focus 100% on
Mhm.
their music, like
Yep.
you and me, and what we have a studio, and we just focus on that. We have investors that believe in us, and we have the AZD process down where we're not distracted. Because one
Mhm.
thing I learned about 50 Cent in the 50th Law by Robert Greene is that when rappers were working on their album, they go out in a cabin for like a weekend. Well, most rappers, artists will come out with like 4 songs, 4 or 5 songs. 50 Cent had like 20 or 22.
Yep.
You're focused. And I sometimes I go back to bad habits, bad ways of thinking, easily influenced out here. And then I go out to San Jose and stay at base too. And I'm back at it. And I'm like, I gotta
Mhm.
take this with me. And it is crucial being on base and being with your IMC Nation brothers.
For sure, bro.
100%.
Mhm. Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, it's very because our mind tends, as I was saying in the video clip the other day, I posted in the group. The mind tends to negativity naturally. The mind has a natural accordance to negativity. So anything negative it can attach to, it will attach to it. It's just for you to be aware and conscious that that's what's happening, and that's not your reality. You can actually choose a different reality. It's very important to keep positive, stay positive, and being around others who are positive is very key, because they're going to bring you down eventually. Even if it's hard, eventually, if they keep knocking, it's going to happen. So it's very important to keep positive, watch positive things, listen to positive things, and be around positive people. Right? It's the mind is it's very tricky. It's the devil. So you just got to be
So
mindful.
true.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't realize that's what you're in. It's just like the fish. He doesn't know he's in water. He doesn't know. So when you resonate with something, you don't realize that you're there. When you see something different, see something which is what you want, or where you want to be, it's important to think that you already have it, and the necessary thoughts that you need to get it will come. Because as I read in a book the other day, I actually don't remember where I got it from, but it says once you have a desire, or once you have a goal or a desire, burning desire, it also, not only do you have the desire, but it comes with the blueprint of how to get it. So whatever you want, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want, go for it, because you have the blueprint. But you have to take action in order for the blueprint to become visible. So yeah, basing up, definitely the best idea. If you can be by yourself, or for majority of the time, it's best to do that, and um, listen to positive things. Create your environment, your positive environment. Living on a base is definitely something I want to do. I would definitely love to have one here in Jamaica, because you know I think a lot of persons are here who are full of potential. You have a lot of hardworking people here, and if you work hard, they can work hard like that. They can work hard in changing their mind. They can work hard in you know um, putting the images that they want at the forefront. Because working hard, you shouldn't be you know what, you shouldn't be working hard to grasp the environment. You should be working hard to to think the thoughts you want, and then those things come effortlessly. So that's where the hard work is. That's where the hard work should be, in thinking about what you want, and listening to and paying attention to the inspired actions. So only take inspired actions. You want to say something?
No, brother, I was just adjusting. Inspired actions. That remind me of like When I learned action with no reason, where like when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up because lately I've been waking up like an hour before I normally have to because I like feel energized, and I'm not used to that. So I'm like, oh, I got another hour to sleep. I'm just gonna lay here. And I did that for about a week, still making my wake up time. But then I was like, let's see what happens if I actually get up when I wake up. Now, lately, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. And I'm like, well, I still need at least 6 hours of sleep, or at least I think I do. And I still wake up an hour before my alarm. I'm like, okay, what is that? I call that action with no reason because I sometimes I'd hesitate before I do something. I talk myself out of it. That self-talk, the negative, the devil speaking in my
Mhm.
mind, just about a situation I was just thinking earlier before I started this. And then, like you said, inspired action. Okay, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Please, brother, go on about that. I have like a half hour yet. Normally we stop at an hour, but since there's nothing going on, and I don't know the advanced beast camp that neither one of us are in, I feel it's okay for us to live stream because we got Charles on, and the entire world needs to hear our message. So tell me about
Right.
inspired action, brother.
Right. So, all right. So what we want to do before we do anything is to appropriate first and foremost what we want in our mind. So let's say, for example, I want to get some food tonight, but I want some food that tastes good. I'm not going to decide to go to KFC. I'm going to do the work to think of good tasting food. And then I'll be, I'll feel the action that I need to take. I will feel to take that action. I'll feel to take it, and I will take it and not realize. That's why you have to be relaxed so that the goal can achieve you. I heard ACD say that once. So people are trying to achieve goals, but what if it's a case where the goal is achieving them? So let me explain that some more. So let's say you keep thinking about something, you're building energy about it, right? And that energy can overcome you and use your body to achieve it. Tell me if you understand what I'm saying. Because
Say that again. I learning about communication. Um, you think about the goal
right.
and
All right. So
the
basically,
energy, like it gets you excited. So I'm okay. Sorry. Say that again so I'm understanding it right.
yeah, let me repeat it real quick. So I heard AGD say once that he said people are trying to achieve goals, but how about or is it really a case where maybe it's something to this effect, but it's about the goal actually achieving you. Meaning, when you think about something, you're building energy about it, right? Now, this is going to become a thing, and in the energetic realm, it's going to become a thing. That thing can overcome you, which it should. And by overcoming you, it will actually use you to take certain actions to achieve what it is. So, for example, I want a brand new car, right? I want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Let's use a Lamborghini. I like Lambos, right? Let's say I want a Lamborghini. I'm going to think about the Lamborghini, keep it at the forefront of my mind every day, every single day, and that will take on a life of its own. And that will overcome you. It will use your body to achieve itself. So you're not actually taking the action out in the physical realm, you're just programming your mind, and that will be attracted to you. The program that you're running will attract it to you, but it's overcoming your body. Remember, everything is energy. Even your body, even as physical as it looks, it's energy. Tell me if I lost you there.
Everything is energy. You're right. Why that reminds me of transmutation because Four Pillars of Power. Quick plug: Kenny Simmons is going to be hosting tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Um, live on IMC TV.
Mm-hmm.
I would have negative energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I got sick of it. And I learned through one of my good friends who ended up becoming a coach and shared a couple things with me is and then finally like learning how to do it my way, because I believe everyone like has their own way of doing it, whatever works for you. And
Mm-hmm.
like you do, finally apply what I learned. I would
Yep.
transmute that negative energy into positive. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
I like get mad over, like, someone can get mad over their girlfriend cheating, or their former business partner screwing them over, or just any type of rejection. I would get so down in the dumps. Like I used to drink myself silly with alcohol and just feel so down and depressed, and I would stop.
Man.
And then I'm like, what would happen if I would take that energy and put it to something good? Oh yeah, watch this. And then work out and just get so fed up with the way things are going, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this frustration and use it. Now, when I was understanding you, it was like this inspired action, like picturing myself driving a Lamborghini, being a Lamborghini, and getting excited and taking that energy and putting it towards something where I work hard. And it's not like, I remember you mentioned like something about working where I used to work jobs that would just drain me, and I'd
Yeah.
have no energy to work on what I would want. But then I finally, one of my lowest like level jobs I was in, during my 20-minute like short lunch break, I listened to positive like motivational videos. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the guys said, I think it was Ed Milet actually, said like, I don't care what you're doing, if you're one of the lowest jobs, dirtiest jobs you can think of, use that money, use that inspiration towards your passion, towards your goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was able to save up enough money where I ended up quitting my job because I worked the weekend shift, and I attended my first beast camp. And I knew no matter what happened, I'd get a better job after that. And I was going to apply what I learned with that. I ended up going into a story, but
Yeah.
inspired action.
Basically, brother, just know what you want and everything will fall into place. That's basically what it is. Just know what you want, keep your attention on what you want, and everything will fall into place. That's just it. So you'll be walking one day wondering, why did you meant to turn right, but you ended up going straight. And then you realize, why am I going straight? That's the way to go. That's the way you're being led. That's where you should be going to achieve your goal. So it's just a matter of doing the work you should be doing, is just to keep the image in your mind, keeping the image at the forefront, because everything is fighting for your attention. Every single thing is fighting for your attention. So it's a responsibility to keep what you want at the forefront, and everything else will fall into place magically. You wonder, how did I get here? But you were doing the right actions all along, but you were being used, by a higher power to achieve it. So that's where the work should be.
Dude, that hit home right there. Higher power. I learned when I was doing things that really didn't serve me, that was lowering my energy, my vibration, like blocking me. And I started raising it. Like when I got sober, for example, and I started getting back into spirituality and whatever your religion is, I believe in God. And I've been noticing things lately, especially like the last few weeks. And in the last few years, things would just come to me, but then it would like surprise me, and I'd not be used to it. And I'm like, and then I go back into self-sabotage. Oh no, this can't be. And then I'd go back to my old ways. But then I just reached a point where I got sick of it. And when you raise your vibration,
Mm-hmm.
like whether you believe it, the entities, the angels, the aliens around us, they give
Right.
you signs and signals. And I've been seeing a lot of 222 lately. And I
Yeah.
actually had a dead bee land in my vehicle when I was driving by. I think it like fell out of a tree, but it was just like, how did that happen? It was a bumblebee, and it was dead. But I ended up looking up the sign, and significance of like when a bumblebee lands on you. And it's like, okay, this is a sign from a higher power. I need to focus on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I've been getting a lot of those numbers too. 333. That one loves to follow me. 13 and 333. Sometimes 444. Yeah, they follow me a lot, like a lot. Sometimes I'm wondering if I'm the one manifesting it. But yeah, they're always with me, even today. 133, 133, the time. Yeah, it's amazing, and there's definitely significance to it. It's definitely something to look into. But people may have different meanings for it, but I just become more aware. What I do when I see these things, I become more aware and just listen, just relax and listen. Because what you need to know, it will come to you. So just relax and listen. And because when you're too tense, nothing can get in. So you just have to relax and listen. And you understand. If you do the research, but the most important research is just relaxing. And the research information that you need will, it will come to you. For sure, for sure.
Man, so powerful. And that's what I learned to do lately. A lot of times I would have guided meditations or just affirmations or something I'd be listening to. But now that I can go outside, it's warm here in Wisconsin, and I can tap into a tree, I can do grounding. One of my favorite things to do is sit with my spine up against a tree and my bare feet in the ground. And I just close my eyes for 10 minutes. I set a timer, of course, an alarm, so I don't have to worry about time. But I just relax and listen. And oh man, it just, so something funny happened actually. Like right before my alarm went off yesterday, a tree branch fell. Like right before my alarm went off. Like,
What? It's crazy.
Yeah, and I looked like, because I heard the sound. It's like, oh, a tree branch fell, but I didn't see anything. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna continue staying true to this process and see what else happens, because like AZD said today, he's not doing anything. It's a higher power that's like enabling him to do it, and he's such a powerful man, and he doesn't take any credit. And learning from him, because I'd get super nervous, like I get all stuck in my head before I do a live, and then I realized I wasn't relaxing and listening. What does AZD do before he goes live? You see him sitting there, with his eyes closed. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm driving, and he'll have whatever song that's calling to him, and he'll do some like powerful hand motions. He'll clap his hands. He'll look at his wall of teachers, something that I need to do, by the way. But relaxing and listening is so simple, but I used to make it so complicated. Man,
Yeah,
brother.
it's pretty simple. No, but it's just a matter of learning to relax and relax your body, relax your mind. Relaxing your mind means you just let the thoughts go. And the right thoughts will come to you, because I've been big on in more recent times the fact that you're actually listening. So negative thoughts are things you're listening to, and I'm starting to now realize this, and to see for what it is. Stories that you've been telling yourself about certain things in the past, these are the same stories that are coming back to you. If they're negative, they're coming back to you right now. But it's not a case where it's true. It's just a story that's running. But you have the ability to believe it or not. Right? So it's a matter of being aware and being conscious. That's very important. Being aware and being conscious, because that gives you the space from your mind, so you can actually decide what you want to think or what you want to listen to. Yeah. I mean, I'd spend hours and not realize here listening to my mind, thinking I'm thinking. Like lying down for like 1, 2 hours, 3 hours. And when I check the time, I'm like, how did so much time pass? What am I doing here? Unproductive. That happens, but that hasn't happened to me off lately, because I understand what the mind is and what's going on. So I stop it writing instructions, and the process helps with this, because when I'm overthinking, I just drop into, a workout. And that energy, all that mental energy, it's transmuted to my body through the workout and it burns out. So after the workout, my mind is now clear. Yep. So, the process is amazing. And the fact that you have to stay on it every day, you definitely have to stop thinking, because you have to focus on the workout. Put it into the workout. You have to focus on what you want to accomplish in the day. So it gives you the opportunity to get your mind straight, through the workout. So I'm very happy for this process. I want to, as I said, I want to master it some more. Travel, go to San Jose, master this thing, because I haven't got the eating part down correctly. So that's one of the parts I want to master too. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. You too, right? A lot of people.
Same. I'm getting there, but I'm actually getting better. It's taken me years, but I'm finally getting better. I catch myself, and it's some things that AZB shares, like, because when I'm got the devil running my mind, I'm running off the toxicity, especially at the end of a workday. I crave sugar. Well, I think I crave sugar, but what I'm actually craving is a pause, breathe, release, just some Wim Hof breathing, or some water, So I'm at a gas station. We have quick trips by me, 7-Elevens, that over by San Jose, whatever quick trip that you have, or a convenience store. I'm thinking, what kind of goodies do they have in there? And I catch myself because I see the treats that are cheap, but I'm like, and AZD is like, he would say something in the order of, do I want to look good? Do I want to feel good? So instead of getting that candy bar, I get like an apple or banana now. And I just like action with no reason. I'm just like, I move without thinking. But then the inspired action is like, how do I want to feel? How do I want to think? Do I want to think clearly after this and not feel like I need a nap? Now, if you don't mind me asking, like, what do you listen to, if anything, during your workout?
I don't listen to anything because I need my mind for myself. So unless it's some jazz music, I don't listen to anything. And shout out to Master myself for that. He actually told me about jazz music and what it actually does. No, well, not the jazz music, but listening to just instrumentals and not the words. Yeah. So not listen. I don't listen to anything because I refocus my mind in my workout. I reappropriate what I want throughout the day, what I want to feel, what I want to experience. So if I'm listening to music, I'm going to be listening to the words of the song and not what I want. So that's how I take control. That's my time to take control of my mind. After the workout, no, I listen to songs, whether it's reggae, rock. I like to play Evanescence songs. Who else? Yeah, just rock songs in general. Avril Lavigne. I play those songs too. So I have a very Avril Lavigne. I have a very big taste in music. So yeah, after the workout, I listen to music. But what do you listen to?
Wow, brother. Well, I'm going to thank you for that because I listen to electronic. They call it electronic dance music. Some call it electronic dance music. I call it techno. There's so many different types of genres. House music, because I'm getting into DJing. So I take that as like motivation to and inspiration, but I get distracted. So I got my Spotify and I'm like, okay, add this to that playlist, add it to that playlist. Okay, I'm gonna play this in my next session, but it distracts me. And then before I know it, like 15 minutes go by and I'm out working out, and I'm like, so now just instrumental. I'm not gonna listen, or I'm gonna try not to listen to the type of music I like to play, or like recreationally, pleasure.
Yeah. So
Man,
yeah. The music stimulates your mind. You don't want your mind to be stimulated. You want your mind to be at peace. And after you're at peace and you think the thoughts you want, you intentionally want, then I can listen to music because I'm coming from a frame of what I want. Right? So as I tell people, I don't get up for work. I don't get up for work. I get up for myself, as we all do. Right? But I'm showing you the difference between, coming from a different frame. So when I get it for myself and I go to work, I don't feel lost in the job. But if I get it for the job, I'm opening up myself to the job before I ever get a chance to think for myself. So I'm getting up. The first thing I'm doing is thinking about getting to work early. That's the first thing on my mind. Versus waking up for me and thinking, hey, how hard am I going to go on this workout? What mantra am I going to use? So there's a difference between focusing on yourself and actually focusing on what you get to, getting up to do for the job. It's totally different. It's a different flavor, different vibe throughout the day. So that's one of the most important things about this process. What I've actually learned from it. What about you?
I'm sorry, brother. Say the last part. The most important thing you got from the process was what?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's one of the important things I learned from the process about getting up for yourself versus getting up for an actual job. Because
oh my God. So because why?
it gives you the
so crucial, but say
yeah,
say your reason, because I'm going to share mine.
So it gives you a different flavor throughout the day. So if I get up for the job, right, I'm going to be open, because let's say I get up for work, right? The first thing I'm going to be thinking of, the first thought I'm going to be invested in is getting to work early. I'm thinking about the job versus getting up for myself, working out. I'm thinking about how I want to feel while I go to work. So we're coming from a totally different place. And whatever you think in the morning will be what your experience will be throughout the day. So getting up for yourself, telling yourself what you want to experience, telling yourself what you want to feel, how you want to feel, it's a different thing. It's a different flavor, different perspective, different frame. Even though you may get up for your job, I get up for myself, and we go to work and experience the same things. I'll be experiencing the same thing happens to us or for us. We're going to experience it differently because of our mindset.
Man, so crucial. That takes me way back when I was dreading this job I was going to. I'd wake up like last minute, go and stress, drinking coffee. And then it's like I'd attract stressful situations, and sometimes they weren't even stressful. I was stressing out over them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was working that job I mentioned before, I was actually working case lot at a Walmart distribution center, putting thousands of labels on boxes,
Mm-hmm.
where I pretty much had like a mental and physical breakdown because I was hallucinating from doing the same thing over and over. And then it's like my body,
Yep.
I wasn't piecing at the time, so like my body went over it. But I think it was at my last motivational video I heard. It's like picture that box of diapers that you ship out for the Walmart or whatever grocery store. That could be like a future president's diapers, that they're wearing. So I was putting, like, I was getting up early, I was making good decisions, and I remember AZD said that you are your first customer in the morning. It doesn't matter who you're currently working for or where you go or what you do. You are the first one. You take care of yourself. So get up an hour early. You have all that time to do a workout, stretch, get yourself in the right mindset. Whatever routine you have, go for a walk, do some grounding, do some breathing, and get
For
yourself in
sure.
the mindset. Like, I choose this. Monks with Attitude. That was the first product that I invested in when I joined IMC Nation and I was in Love Spell. And it took me a while to finally do that because I wasn't used to investing $97 for 4 videos. But I'm like, if AZD's been helping me out so much during Love Spell, let's see what this Monks with Attitude is. And one thing that hit home for me that actually helped me quit prescription, I'm going to be careful what I say because this is YouTube, but I was taking something for my mind that I realized I didn't need. And I was looking into natural ways to stop having to do that. One thing that hit home for me that helped me quit that is AZD said, like, when a prisoner is in prison, or a monk is like sleeping on the hard floor or eating, the the simple food or just in solitary confinement. It's the attitude that makes the difference. So they can be like, oh, screw this hard floor that I have to sleep on, or the cellmate that I don't like, or this crappy food, or whatever situation they don't like being in. They choose that. So they say, I choose this situation. I choose a solitary confinement. I choose this roommate. I choose this. And
Yep.
just changing your attitude
Yep.
changes the whole mindset. And I felt the change in me. And that's what helped me quit doing that thing that I didn't need anymore. And another thing AZD said when he started his martial arts school back when he was 21, that was a challenge in itself. And hearing his story and ups and downs really inspired me to live my passion. He would have his students, their teachers at their regular school would say that they're out of line, they're misbehaving, they can't focus or concentrate, they need some type of medication. And the parents come to AZD, the martial arts teacher, who's actually the student's doing very well in. AZD would write or talk with the teacher at the regular school and say, why do you think that my student needs these things or is acting this way? He pays attention to my class. He does this well. And I forgot where we were going with that, but mindset, attitude,
Yeah.
is everything, brother. And
So,
I'm getting close to my destination, so we got
yeah.
a few minutes here. I'd like you to finish off with whatever you feel is calling you, and we'll end it there, brother. We got about like 10 minutes yet.
All right, no problem. So yeah, definitely I understand what you were saying. And I choose this, I choose that. It's basically saying the same, it's the same thing as, the obstacle is the way. So whatever in your way, that's what it is. And you're gonna choose that. So it's basically regaining control. Right. So you're doing it. So okay, so here it is. It's the same thing because you're now doing it or choosing it for you. Because you say I choose this. So you're now actually investing in you, and you're not investing in the activity itself. That's basically the same thing I was just saying in regards to waking up for yourself versus waking up for work. Because when you wake up for work, you are investing in work because you're getting ready for it. When you wake up for yourself, you start to exercise, you're investing in yourself because you're going to be better after exercising. So 2 different frames, you enter the day with 2 different frames. And that's what I got from what you were saying. The obstacle is the way, that's what it has to be. In order for you to always choose you have to choose the obstacle. Yeah, that's what I got from what you were saying. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I really had to share.
We're gonna end on that. The obstacle is the way, and that is so true, brother. Mm-hmm. That's why the beasting routine, cold showers, just doing that thing that you don't want to do. Because I tell you what, I dreaded cold showers for the longest time, but when AZD pointed out that when you do a cold shower, like if you start your day with that, you can take on anything. And when I had the negative mindset, the devil working in me before I did this live, I was looking at resets, and a cold shower is one of them. And that's exactly what I did before we went live. So I'm going to end it with this, brother. I'm actually going to keep the Zoom up because I see Ryan G just is blessing us with his presence. And don't you dare turn your microphone on, Ryan. I love you. I love you. I love you, brother. So I'm going to quit. I'm going to cut the Zoom live. If you guys, whoever is watching this, wants to learn more, feels connected with Tre, where can they find you, Tre?
Yeah, I got an Instagram, Tre_Mil. That's TRE_MIL. I also have a YouTube. It's Wisdom Warrior. Right. You may see some other wisdom. Okay. Just search for the one that has my video. I have a video up.
Tre, I'm gonna have you please telegram me both links for your Instagram and YouTube, and I'm gonna put that in the description on the show.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, brother. Wow. Keep an eye out for Tre. He's gonna be doing some wonderful things, not just in IMC Nation, but for the entire world. So, with that being said, show up for yourself, show up for others, keep showing up. Say
Os.
entree. Os.